some fireplaces. It's hard to carry on when you feel all alone. Now I've swung back down again. It's worse than it was before. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. Oh, sit down, oh, sit down, oh, sit down. Sit down next to me. Sit down, 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 down. With sympathy.
Evening, everyone. Here we are.
Hello.
We're going to talk about with my esteemed guests tonight. We'll go and introduce them first. We have early doors football, West Ham. How you doing, my friend?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Thanks for being on the channel again, as always. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, great show last night, man. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Mm.
And we've got the long-haired Yeti, my nemesis, because he just likes to line the shit out of me. But how you doing, mate?
I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Cheers for having me on. Good to see you, Rods and Jez and Early Doors. Big up to everybody in the chat. And yeah, good, man. I'm really good, especially after just watching that conference from Santo, whatever his name is.
Oh, God, I haven't seen that myself. We have Uncle Rodz, Anfield Uncle Rodz. Welcome, my friend. We will be chatting about our game, Arsenal and Liverpool. And I've done a lot of research into all the games that we've done. We've played in the FA Cup over the years. But we're going to start with the game I want to talk about, because I think this is West Ham, Bristol City. First time you guys played in the FA Cup, 1969, mate. And
yep,
you won 3-2.
69 is a good number.
Hey?
Not even a minute. Not even a minute.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Too much potions.
got the rat shit already. And of course, and then January 2015, you won 1-0 at Bristol City, mate. So there's a little bit of history there, but you confident?
Yeah, I mean, Moyes hasn't actually never lost against Bristol City, so that could be a good omen in itself. And as you said, I mean, if you look at it, the last kind of meetings that Bristol have had with us, they've not won a single game against us. So yeah, I'm fairly confident that we should get through this. By the looks of it, he's going to name a fairly strong squad, because obviously we've got the break coming up, haven't we? So that should be good to play everyone at that stage. So I'm fairly confident we're going to get through.
Another international break, innit?
Yeah.
Dear God.
2 weeks, I think it is.
Man,
January.
Yeah,
I
it's
just don't get it. I mean, I'm an advocate, right, of the fact that seed the top teams, right? Let all the dross teams just fight it out amongst themselves.
Big up, Cole.
I'm fed up with all this breaking it up. It just balls the death out of me. It really does. Good evening, Luke. Hope you're well, friend.
Luke.
And yeah, I'm pretty confident you're going to beat Bristol City. It's at your ground.
Yeah,
they're not great at the moment. West Ham, you're on a little bit of you're holding it in there. Well, dare I say it? You beat us, Arsenal, of course. So it is what it is. But you never know with Bristol. They could come up with a little bit of snapshot, could catch a cold. You know what I mean? The FA Cup. You can never rely on anything in the FA Cup. It is the cup. And dare I say it, there's been some super big upsets in the FA Cup, and I'm going to have to mention one, much as it sticks in my throat. 1980 FA Cup final, Arsenal West Ham, where Division 2 West Ham United, first time in history ever happened, a Division 2 team beat a Division 1 team in a cup final. Yeah, I bet you're still proud about that one, aren't you, early doors?
Yeah, well, it's Brookings scored the goal more than anything else as well. That was
Yeah.
it was all about Jess.
Mm.
Yeah.
They all count at the end of the day, and I mean, we'll relish that for quite a while, I believe.
And still are. I know that because I met up with an old buddy of mine on Tuesday, actually. And he was saying, "Oh, it's the FA Cup this weekend. You've got Liverpool, we've got Bristol City." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you remember the 1980 Cup final, Jez?" I said, "Not really." I said, "No, I think I missed that one that day, even though I was there." But not, it is what it is. You got to have a good bit of banter, man. Of course, Uncle Rodz, Arsenal, Liverpool. Huge game for Arsenal. Big game for Liverpool.
Yep.
I mean, we've played each other 13 times in the FA Cup, in qualifying and cup games. Interesting fact, Arsenal have won 8, you've won 5. We've won a FA Cup each against each other.
Yeah.
Right, so it's quite an interesting stat that. The first game we ever played against each other was in 1913. You stuffed Arsenal 4-1.
1913, you said?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Wow.
February 19th. Well, I'll tell you, 1st of February 1913. Arsenal, Liverpool at the old Arsenal. They weren't at Highbury then. They're just about to go to Highbury.
Yeah.
And
They was in South London, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, you boys won 4-1. And the next game, for interest for you, was in January 1923, that is. And we're at Highbury. You came there and you won 4-1 after a 0-0 draw at Anfield.
Okay.
And then 27, Arsenal beat you in the FA Cup, the year that Arsenal went on to the FA Cup, first FA Cup final for Arsenal. Mm-hmm. And we lost to Cardiff City 1-0. But anyway, I won't go through all of them. Of course, there was the classic 1980 games where it was 0-0, 1-1, 1-1, and then it was 1-0 to the Arsenal. And then we went and lost to West Ham. So, class. But, mate, there's a lot of history between these teams in the FA Cup.
Yes.
You know, I did a poll on this week, right? And just before we've gone live, 73% of the people in there said Liverpool to win. 8% draw, the rest Arsenal. I mean, that to me, Uncle Rodz, shows what. I mean, I don't know what teams are voting in that because it's just a general poll. You know, I think it's probably mostly Arsenal.
Right.
In fact. Wow, that's not a great look, is it? 77%, man.
Not really, but to be fair, we don't usually do well down at sort of the Emirates when it comes to the FA Cup. I said I think usually the average is that you usually beat us down there in the FA Cup, like in cup competitions and stuff. But we obviously more stronger when we at Anfield. You know what I mean? I think this sort of game should have been like a quarter-final game. Do you know what I mean? I think this game's such a good game to have on. It's kind of like upsetting that it's in the first round, kind of like the first preliminary round, sort of like. I know it's like round 3 or something like that, but like, you know, in the preliminary rounds, do you know what I mean? It's a first round, but obviously for Premiership Cups, you know what I mean? Because this is where they come in. Do you know what I mean? I would have liked to have that sort of that fixture, sort of like later down the line. You know what I mean? Just literally spice up the sort of like
good final. Like.
Yeah, I mean, because I happen to love the FA Cup. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that sort of don't like 100%. It. And it's not. But I think so. Look, this is the oldest competition in history. In the history, it's gonna be the history of football. And any team on earth, you can form a team, yeah, Jez. You can form a team, call it like Jez Collins United or whatever, yeah, and get got a couple of pals and everything that, and you're playing sort of like you're not league and everything that, right? But you can still get in the FA Cup. You can still sort of like get far in the FA Cup. Look at Havant and Waterloo. Do you know what I mean? Got all the way to sort of like got to a good round in the FA Cup. Got to play Liverpool at Anfield. Yeah, half of their players at day are Liverpool supporters. Their manager's a Liverpool supporter. So it was a really good day out for them. Do you know what I mean? So the spirit of the FA Cup will never die for me. Do you know what I mean? So like,
me neither.
Yeah, I don't know. Just thinking in the day, sort of like a game like this with Arsenal and Liverpool, I think it should have been a bit later. Do you know what I mean? In the competition. Do you know what I mean? Just
would have made a good final. To be fair.
Do you know what I mean? You know, like a quarter final or even a semi final. Or listen, even a final.
Yeah,
I want to say no to. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's something like that.
You think? I was having a chat with this guy, West Ham mate of mine. He was saying the other day, do you think there's a case for? I mean, I personally don't agree with it. Do you think? And I'm going to general question. I'm going to start off with you on this one, Yeti. Right? Do you think there's a case for having seeding in the FA Cup?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the best thing about the FA Cup really is the little guys get on to take on the big guys, and
Exactly.
so it's massive. It's absolutely massive for them. Seeding, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure on that one, to be honest with you. I like the way it's done, to be fair. Where teams can actually end up going to Anfield and playing Liverpool, and stuff like that, because it makes for big, interesting games. And they always give it everything because they have to. So I mean, I just loved the FA Cup. Back in the day, I used to watch Liverpool and Everton, all because that was pretty much all that was on TV. So I used to watch it all the way from the start. They're all talking and that lot and speaking before the game. It's absolutely brilliant atmosphere. I think Everton got beat most of the times. It was when you had Rushy and all that lot. I mean, you had a cracking team back then, and that's pretty much why I'm a Liverpool. Why I also like Everton, because basically I always went with the underdogs, and Everton was always the underdogs. And FA Cup for me is absolutely massive. And like I say, Santo's come out and he said every game's as important as the next.
Totally
so
agree.
We're definitely going to go with it.
Early doors. Do you think there's a case for a change in the way the FA Cup's hosted, in the fact there should be seeding? I mean, I'm against it myself, I have to say, because I think it would spoil, I think, the fun of see a team like Bognor Regis Town. I mean, no, being serious. My hometown, where I live now, right? They were playing in the first round proper.
Yeah.
Or second round proper, whatever it was. If they had won that game, they'd been in this round of the FA Cup. Now they did it. Oh, blimey, crikey! Back early, I think it's about 2000. They played Swansea City at their home ground. They drew 1-1.
Yeah.
They played to the old City ground and got mashed up 4-1 in the end, after going 1-0 up away.
Yeah.
And it was the magic of the cup. I remember watching it on BBC One. Yeah, and I don't agree that there should be any seeding. I mean, what do you think?
No, I don't think there should be. I mean, because as you said, it's the glamour, it's the glitz, it's getting through to the next round. It's waking up in the morning time, preparing yourself, knowing that you might have been a plumber or you're the milkman and that, and also you're going to be facing Arsenal, or you're going to be facing Forest or West Ham or Liverpool. That's the appeal about it. And you remember, like, you said about them, the FA Cup prelim rounds and the proper rounds, every time they get through, they get extra money. Every time they progress through the rounds itself.
Yeah.
And it's that, isn't it? It's that appeal. That's the, for any club, that's the impetus. If I can get through to the next round, we're going to bring extra money in for our club, which buys us maybe a new stand, or it buys us new floodlights or it buys us, more kit. It's that kind of appeal. So yeah, seedings, no. I mean, when you look at a different kind of tournament, yes, fair enough, but not with the FA Cup. I don't think you want to really smash and change that basically, because you take away, what it's all about at the end of the, and you just spoil it. What's the point of doing that when, as Yeti said, as fans, you if it's your team, you're getting up early in the morning, watching them from start to finish, when they get onto the coach, travelling around, getting to the ground, walking around. No, you can't take that away. You've got to keep it as it is.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I'm going to come back to what you just made there. Actually, excellent point. Uncle Rodz, do you think there's a necessary? Do you think it would be good or bad if they were to start seeding the FA Cup?
Yeah, overall it would be bad. I mean, I've just got through saying it today. I'd like to see sort of like Arsenal and things in the later rounds, but nah. When you look at it realistically, it will be bad because I think this is the spirit of the FA Cup, where anybody can win it. Look at Millwall; they got all the way to the final, didn't they?
Yeah.
And met Man United in the final, and they lost the game. Do you know what I mean? After putting a good fight, they lost the game, but however, they got to go into Europe. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't think it should be seeded. Just that sort of like it's just wishful thinking at the day, and having sort of like Arsenal and sort of like Liverpool playing in later rounds. Do you know what I mean? But on the whole, I think the spirit of the FA Cup is the best. You're just gonna get. You're not gonna get any competition in the day that's as good as this. Do you know what I mean?
No. Stop trying to change things at work.
Yeah. As like early doors said, and I think now it could be a guy at the day that's a plumber by day. You know what I mean? And then on Saturday he's gonna going up to play against his favorite club, his club that he loves. He's gonna be playing against them at their ground. Do you know what I mean? He's gonna be meeting at the day his idols. Do you understand what I'm saying? When I go back to the Havant and Waterloo, and because there was a comment in the comment section said about it goes, didn't Havant and Waterloo go 2-0 up? Yeah, they did. That's what I'm saying. It was the spirit of that they went 2-0 up, and there was a little boy in the crowd and they couldn't believe it, and he was crying when he was crying and that, and he couldn't believe it that his team was doing so well. At the end of the game, right, they're all like they got the swap T-shirts at the day with the Liverpool players. You know what I mean? And they got scarves and everything like that, and the manager got a scarf, and they got like a standing ovation from the cop. Now these are players at the day that they support Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? And it was a dream come true for them to actually go to Anfield and play in front of the cop. Do you know what I mean? So the spirit of the FA Cup, listen, it's just unlike no other. Do you know what I mean? And I'm more likely thinking today if you start seeding certain teams and that, do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's going to break the spirit of it. The spirit's just going to go, and we don't want that, because we already got that with all other competitions like the Champions League, Europa Cup, Europa Conference League, and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like say, well, look, you can get through to the Champions League on a heritage thing. So really and truly, you no longer have to qualify for the Champions League. It just goes at the end of the day to how sort of like how good you've been in that competition. Do you know what I mean? How many trophies you got? Personally, Liverpool's got 6 trophies, but I wouldn't want to get in to Champions League like that. I want to get in the Champions League on hard work. So don't ruin the FA Cup, man. Just leave it as it is. It's one of the oldest prestige sort of like tournaments in this world. There's unlike no other. There's people all across the world and everything right, that literally get up to watch the FA Cup. When you ask them today, how did you get into football? And how do you become a fan, or how do you become a footballer? They'll tell you today by watching the FA Cup.
Yeah. And we would never met the pie-eating goalkeeper either, would we, really? And also, as well as that, there's a lot of people that plays for the smaller teams that get noticed, and then it ramps their careers up as well.
No, exactly that. I mean, my mate, he actually played for Bishop Stortford, and they played it. He scored against them in the replay, 11th of Jan, 1983.
Yeah.
But that was great for them. I mean, they went to Middlesbrough first, and then of course then they went back to Bishop Stortford.
Yeah.
So
Look at the Newport County thing as well.
Exactly. It's
Brilliant.
it's what it does.
Mm.
So yeah, you can't take that away from any club, I don't think.
No.
The thing is I remember watching an interview, quite a long time ago when Pele had retired. It was on. He was going back to the the New York Cosmos when he played for them, and it was some ceremonial thing. I don't know. And this guy said to him, interviewer said to him, "You won just about everything in the world football that you could have achieved," and he went, "No, I never won the FA Cup."
Yeah.
Probably one of the greatest footballers I've ever seen play. Never saw him play live, unfortunately, but one of the greatest players in my lifetime. And he turned around and said, "No, I never won the FA Cup." And you're quite right. And it's a good point. I honestly think, Yeti, I'm going to come to you on this one first, mate. Right? I think modern football management or whatever have shown a little bit of disrespect for the FA Cup. Now they don't look upon it as the coveted trophy it should be, and I also blame TV. Because I remember watching. If Arsenal weren't going to an FA Cup, and if I couldn't go anyway because I couldn't get there for a ticket or whatever, I'd be watching that from like 9 a.m. You'd have the old thing, wasn't it, on ITV and BBC One. This is way before Sky. Yeah, you'd have the helicopters, and you'd see they're coming out in their suits with their wives.
Yeah, mad.
Getting on the bus, and they'd have a helicopter following them down the motorways or wherever they're coming from. Their hotels were down Wembley Way, picking it, getting in there. And then and you see all the fans coming up out around Wembley, and it's an exciting day out.
Yeah, it was.
And then you'd see the teams in their suits, going out on the Wembley pitch and inspecting it and having a walkabout and all that. And then the course was the classic. I don't think they do. I know they don't do it anymore. It was the toss of the coin of which team got the tunnel end changing room.
Right.
It was the old saying: whoever got the tunnel room changing room won the FA Cup.
Wow.
And that's a point. Remind me, Uncle Rodz, when I come to you, I'm going to tell you a little story about that. Remind me, 'cause I might forget. Yeah, I think there's a bit of disrespect being shown now for the FA Cup.
Yeah, 100%. And I think Wenger probably started it with putting his youth in. But I mean, he had a really good youth team. But the thing is I think the reason for that, though, is because of the winnings and how much you win. Do you want to sort of risk your team getting injured to play for a cup where you don't win nowhere near as much if you're in the Champions League or something like that, or win a league? And I just think they need to raise the winnings and things like that. When it comes to the disrespect, I mean, I'd have to question the main players, to be honest, because, I would be knocking on the door and going, "Boss, I want to play. This is the FA Cup. I want to play." So are they doing that? Are they actually doing that? Are they interested? Are they bothered about the FA Cup and things like that? To me, it's major heritage for me because I grew up watching it, and I always enjoyed it. And you always get great games because they're just one-off games, where two teams meet each other and it's just go for it. And unless you watch Crystal Palace against Everton, I mean, that was absolutely boring last night. But some of them are just really good games, and you can get a shock as well because we all look at if we get like us get a Blackpool, and you think, "Oh yeah, we're going to wallop these," like you guys have done loads of times. Arsenal, "Oh yeah, we'll wallop these. There's no problem here," and then they come up and they spring surprises on you. like Blackpool did to us last time. Absolutely walloped us, actually.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, it walloped us about 5-1, I think it was, or something like that. And your old guy, Patino, he actually scored. But yeah, getting back onto that, it is disrespectful. It is 100% disrespectful. But like I say, the prize money has to be raised. You know, you've got to be able to win more than that, because all these clubs now, they're businesses. So they're going to want to more focus on the things that's going to bring in the most money. And the FA Cup doesn't. And I think that's why it's getting taken down the wayside. I want it. I really do want it. I'll be honest with you. I'd love to get the FA Cup. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I've been lucky to go to many FA Cups, seen us lose, seen us win. Seen us win more than we've lost. But it's like, I'm going to come to you in a minute, early doors on this one, mate. You mentioned playing smaller teams. I went to the Sutton United Arsenal game, right? And going to Green Lane, and it's an old little place, you know, fair play. But I remember the story was that after the game, that Arsenal donated money to Sutton United out of the match fees to have their changing room roofs replaced because they leaked.
Yeah.
And they actually paid. They said, we'll pay, you know, out of our whatever they get from that game.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been loads of money because, I mean, Sutton United probably can house about 4.5-5K, I'm guessing. So the match fees wouldn't have been massive, but they said, right, we'll pay for you to have, because he was fed up with the fact that the players were in the changing room, they're getting pissed on. So it's that sort of little thing, you know? Helps the team that probably have had that roof patched up many times. But, you know,
Chelsea did it as well for Notts County. Chelsea played Notts County and let them have all the money from the attendance.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
They did it as well.
And that's the magic of the cup, isn't it? I mean, early doors.
Sorry, to cut across you. Chelsea did it twice. I think they played Gillingham, or something like that. One of them teams, and they donated 25 grand to their club. Do you know what I mean?
Which is massive for them. Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? So I good touch.
I mean, you know, that's massive because if with their day ticket, I mean, I know the FA Cup is supposed to go 50-50.
Yeah.
But for a club like Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, West Ham, if you're playing, no disrespect to the lower clubs, whoever they may well be, you know, it's a massive day out for them. And the fact that they can get massive money in makes a whole different perspective for them.
Yeah.
As you can say, they can have a new roof on a bloody stand, or they could do this, or improve the kitchen, or whatever. Early doors, mate. Do you honestly think the FA Cup's being disrespected now? A bit like
of course it is.
Really?
It is. Yeah, of course it is. I mean, like, you know, it goes back to more. There's more kind of concentration on league position. And obviously, depending where you are, you know, you're either in the Champions League, Europa, the Conference. That's where your main aim is. So you think it's basically what we've, you know, as kids, that's what we always used to watch, the FA Cup. It's what it's based around. But now it's a case of that's got little importance. We don't have to worry about that cup. If you get it, you get it. If not, let's concentrate on where we're going to be our league positioning, because obviously our stakeholders want to make sure they're making their pound and pence. And that's where your problem is. Yes, it is a massive disrespect. And when you look for the lower clubs, you know, and especially the non-league clubs that get to go into the rounds of the FA Cup, you want to be playing against the top stars in you know, whoever you're facing them with the top teams. And when you think you're taking your mates, guess what I'm doing tonight? What's that? Oh, I'm playing Arsenal tonight. You know, you're going to be playing against Odegaard, Declan Rice, this and the other and that. And basically you end up playing, you know, Nketiah and Nelson and players.
Win the dog.
Yeah, win the dog. Yeah. And it's like, and that's where it takes the shine away from it.
Of course it does. Of course it does. I mean, I love the FA Cup. I love it. I mean, you know, even now at the age I am, I will still be, even if Arsenal aren't in it, right? I'll still be up. I'll have breakfast. I'll have the TV on. We don't get what we used to get, unfortunately now, but I'll still be buzzing for it. I'll be telling you, I'll be sat here at midday, right, on the countdown. I'm like, fucking hell.
Yeah.
Nothing else that day I'm going to do but sit here and wait for the FA Cup. Fact. That is it.
Yeah.
But Uncle Rodz, do you think, mate, it's been disrespected now? I think it started, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, mate. Do you remember Sir Alex Ferguson, right, that season? Do you remember? He won.
Oh, when he done the treble.
Yeah.
He done the treble, and they got sort of like they got the choice at the end of the day to opt out the FA Cup or opt out the League Cup. Do you know what I mean? And then chose to opt out the FA Cup, which I can't really understand because the FA Cup starts for actually Premiership clubs at the end of January. Do you know what I mean? So you would have thought, and then you would have opted out the League Cup. Do you know what I mean? Really? So, but I don't understand his understanding there. But yeah, it's like, you know, when that happened, and when that happened, it was kind of like, you know, a blow to the FA Cup. And all of a sudden, people didn't think it was that important. And like, what a lot of teams do in the day is prioritize themselves because they think, so look, at the end of the day, if I get to sort of like a certain position at the day in the Premiership, it's money. Do you know what I mean? You know, money is coming into the club. Do you know what I mean? So, like, if you get 10th place or so, like, you get a certain amount of money. Do you know what I mean? And it's even more now because at the end of the day, they're making more money at the day with the TV rights. Do you know what I mean? 1 minute Amazon's got it, next minute Sky's got it, next minute TNT's got it, BT Sports or whatever. They're making a shit loads of money. Excuse my language. Yeah, we're making money. So what clubs are going to do now, which is to me at the end of the day is very upsetting. What clubs are going to do it? They're going to prioritize themselves. Say, look, right then, you know what? As long as we stay in the Premiership, do you know what I mean? Yeah. As long as we stay in there. Now, how can we do that? Anything like that? Because you know what we'll do? We'll put a second string team out tomorrow against Bristol City or sort of like, you know, Coventry or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? One of the greatest things that I saw in the FA Cup was seeing my hometown in the FA Cup, St Albans City. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Seeing in the FA Cup. Do you know what I mean? That was one of the greatest things I see in my life. And that to see my team, because like hometown team, because my hometown team, they're literally non-league. They could be more non-league than anything else. They're non-league. We're talking about dominant league here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, but for them to actually get into a respective round in the FA Cup and me to see it, I was like, wow. Do you know what I mean?
That's good.
And you know, so I just think at the day, right, where you have to blame the Premiership. You know what I mean? For the disrespect of the FA Cup. Because shit loads of money is going into the Premiership. There's one season, I think it was a couple of seasons ago, right, where they made at least a record like something like 5 billion profit. A 5 billion profit in a day on the Premier League. 5 billion. Do you know what I'm saying? And people wonder why, and these tournaments, which is the greatest tournament in the world, I will stand by it to the day I die. It is the greatest tournament in the world. They wonder why these tournaments are getting disrespected. They wonder why, and that you have a team like let's say for Nottingham Forest, for instance. I'm not sort of like throwing smoke on Nottingham Forest. You know what I mean? Because I still like them. But what I'm trying to say is this: Nottingham Forest know it, and they will look. Their main bread and butter at the end of the day is to stay in the Premiership. Yeah. So more likely at the end of the day, if they're playing somewhere like, I don't know, let's say Rotherham United, more likely at the end of the day, they're going to try and push out at the end of the day a lot of academy players. Do you know what I mean? They ain't going to sort of push out their first team because they don't want anything happening to their first team. infringing their chances at the day of finishing to a certain position in the Premiership, and they getting money, because at the end of the day, right, money makes the sort of like these teams go round now.
Yeah.
The more money you've got at the end of the day, right, the more better you are. This is where it's come to. It's come the Premiership and day is no longer sort of like, to me, it's not the best league in the world. Do you know what I mean? I think the Bundesliga is the best league in the world. If you look at the Bundesliga and what they do and everything that, it's like, it's like a family affair. When you look at the Bundesliga, I mean, I spent time in Germany. I've seen like families and they like a day out going to support their local team, whether it be Munster or whether it be sort of like Dortmund. Do you know what I mean? Or it be sort of like Dusseldorf or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's a family affair. Do you know what I mean? And it's affordable as well. It's very affordable for you to take you and your family and they to sort of like, you know what I mean, to a game. It's like for me now, if I want to take it's like if I had a family, like kids and all that, you know what I mean, and I want to take them at the end of the day to a Liverpool game, I'm looking about 300 quid, mate. I'm looking about 300 quid at the day. So then at the day, right? If you say that's like 300 quid, how many times can you do that a year?
Yeah.
Not really a lot, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No.
So what it is at the day, it's sort of like the Premiership at the day has put this financial margin against the FA Cup, and then day, right? Hence the FA Cup getting disrespected. You know what I mean? But listen, I still think, and I will always think at the day, it is the greatest competition in the world. Really, more money needs to go into the FA Cup, than what it does at the day into the Premiership.
No, exactly. I mean, look, Mama Flossie's comment there. How true is that?
Yeah, I mean,
how true.
Mama says watching the FA Cup final day was part of my childhood. Yeah, exactly. From early in the morning till the cup was presented to the winner, the streets were empty until it was over. Nobody seemed to care. No, that's the problem. And I blame. I'm sorry, I have to blame the fact that certain clubs have disrespected it. Sky TV are the bloody worst, right? Because when BBC One ITV, Bobby Moore, sorry, not Bobby Moore, Brian Moore, remember him? He'd be on the channel from like 9 in the morning on
Dickie
ITV.
Davis,
that was brilliant.
Dickie Davis, all that. It was like it was an occasion.
Jimmy Hill.
Yeah.
Jimmy Hill, it's true.
It was an occasion out, and it was like
couldn't miss his chin, could you?
No, exactly.
It's almost like you're sat in your lounge and you're there.
Yeah. You felt a part of it, didn't you, Jez?
Yeah.
You felt actually part of there.
Yeah.
I think I think it is. For some coach, I think it is. I think we grow up and we're full grown men. We're full grown men, and we can remember the good times at the day of the FA Cup. But I think what it is, it's changed in this modern era, and it hasn't changed for the better. Do you know what I mean? It's no longer that
That's
sort
a
of
good,
thing. Because I remember those days, what Jez said and what Lee Dawes said, and sort of like, my man said, I can't recall your name there.
Yeti.
Sorry. My apologies. But like,
long Yeti's head cave.
Yeah.
I remember those days. It's true, though, isn't it? I remember those days that the day sort of like you used to get up and even if your team wasn't playing in the FA Cup, you still want to see who was going to do it. Do you know what I mean? Who was going to get the cup? Do you know what I mean? And one of the best FA Cups that it involved my team, and then was like this. It was Liverpool and West Ham. Liverpool and West Ham.
I remember that.
I mean, that had everything that you wanted.
Yeah.
Everything you wanted.
Quality that was.
Then you had before that you had Liverpool and Arsenal.
More than Airwood, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, in Cardiff, it was in Cardiff and that. It still had that spirit of the FA Cup, even though it moved to Cardiff. Do you know what I mean? So listen, at the end of the day, I'm just thinking the day with this modern era of like football fans, no disrespect, I think they're very spoiled in what sort of like what they can get. Do you know what I mean?
We've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And they tend to forget at the end of the day. They tend to forget what the FA Cup's all about. It's about the underdog. It's about the underdog at the end of the day being able to put their hands on this trophy, because everybody, literally everybody, in there can take part. Do you know what I mean? So, like Champions League in the day, you can only take part in Champions League in the day, right? Once upon a time, it was like if you won your league, yeah. Then they obviously went, there are 4 places, so you can only get into the Champions League if you got if you come 4th, yeah. All right. League Cup, the League Cup is not open to everybody. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. The Europa Cup is not open to everybody. Even the Europa Conference League is not open to everybody. But here you have a tournament in there that's literally open to everybody. Yeah. And I think in there more money needs to go into that than what it does go into anything else.
But I mean, how can it be called Champions League when it should just be Champions that's in it?
Sorry?
Well, I think the problem is we used to have that. Then we had the Cup Winners' Cup, which is just for Cup winners. But UEFA decided to change it and amalgamate it, which I think is personally bullshit. I just want to go through a couple of comments here, which I think are very poignant. Will says, "Jez, I can't believe what I've just heard. Just came off a live stream that had Kevin Campbell. I know the show you're talking about, mate. In it, and he point blank said he'd keep Arteta, even if he won nothing, get top 4. Unbelievable. Well, it is, mate, because at the end of the day, he's another one, Wolf Forest. He follows the club narrative because he's paid by the sodding club. Yeah. He can't go against the club. And I know the show that he goes on, and I can't. I'm actually blocked on that show, believe it or not. But there you go. How can anybody say that I'm, that I get the ump with people? Really? Seriously? But Ian's got a nice one here. Ian says, I have an FA Cup question. That what club won the lucky losers draw when Man United pulled out for the World Cup back in the day? I don't know. Anybody else? You guys know? I don't know.
What won the lucky losers draw?
No idea.
No, I don't know.
No, I'll be honest.
That was 2000, wasn't it? Year 2000, wasn't it? That's 24 years ago. I don't know.
Was it when Liverpool won that year, didn't they? Was it 2000?
2001, you beat us, mate. But
wasn't that the same season as
Fighting talk. Here we go.
No, but what I'm saying is, isn't that the same year he's talking about then?
Yeah, it is.
Possibly is.
Isn't it?
Mate, Uncle Rodz, you're on dodgy ice now. You're on dodgy ice.
I was going to say, Jez, you notice how we do that? We mentioned West Ham beating you in 1980 and that. Uncle Rodz has just done exactly the same thing. We're just waiting for Yeti now. Oh, no, he's already done that before. So,
this is
twice. Tell a lie, he's done it twice.
Yeah,
I said before Liverpool Arsenal would be a great final, but Arsenal won't be in the final, so that will never happen, will it?
No. Well, we'll get back to that. I've got to come to you about your game. All right.
Yeah.
We'll get to you. I'm just this comment here. Niagara, Canada Gooners. Good to see you, mate. Never seen you before. Hope you knew. Please smash a sub to all these legends and myself. Hope to see more of you. And as he says. At this part of Canada, we love the good old tradition of the cup competitions. We don't have them here. Respect. Yeah, and unfortunately, mate, it doesn't happen anymore. But good to see you, my friend. Thanks for coming in. Let me just try and quick catch up because they've gone mad again. Right, Yeti. I'm going to come to you, mate. Your game. Your game. Forest Blackpool.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, let's start this one up, shall we? You played them the same time last year. You lost 4-1.
I know we did. Yeah, I know. We got absolutely battered, to be honest. I mean, I won't do it on a watch along at that time because I didn't have the channel at that point. But I mean, I would have been going absolutely nuts, man. I probably would have got cancelled, to be fair, because that was so. I was angry in here. I was going mental. I punched the wall about 4 times. It was like, what the hell are we doing here? And we don't do that good in it anyway. We've only won it like 4 times. So I mean, and that's pretty much back in history. But I mean, this one for me, like I say, Santo. Basically, the scary thing for me is why do the reporters have to ask that question nowadays? Are you going to take this game seriously, or are you not? This, that, and the other. And Santo basically turned around. He says, "I'll take every game seriously. We want to win every game. We want to win every competition," which I love to hear. So obviously we've got players away for the AFCON, so there's going to be a chance to actually put other players in that position. But I think we're going to go for it. I do. I think we're going to go for it. I'm thinking about 3-1, to be honest. I think we're going to go for it, and we're going to try and get as far as we can in the FA Cup, as well as try and stay in the Premier League. We still want the cup. We still want to win it all, to be fair. And, it's just going to take time to sort of build it and everything. But I think it's going to be a good game. I do think it's going to be a good game. I don't know how good Blackpool are at the minute, I'll be honest. But I know they are capable of causing an upset, though. And, we'll see how it goes. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. And, I think it'd be a win, mate. 3-1.
You doing a watch long for that one, mate?
Yeah. I'll definitely be doing a watch along if I can get it on Bing Sports, because I can't get BBC because I don't pay for a license, because they can go themselves basically.
I'm thinking about doing a. I'm thinking about. I was talking about this the other day. I might do a 9-man watch along for the FA Cup final. That'd be a lot.
That'd be good.
Oh, that'd be good.
Nice one.
That'd be
Yeah,
good.
good. Yeah.
As long as Arsenal aren't in it. Well, we won't be. Let's be fair. Yeah. Let me say we ain't.
Yeah, I think, to be quite honest, you'll get quite far. I think you'll probably get knocked out on Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. That's as far as we go, mate. That's as far as we go. It is. But anyway, right. Give me your predictions. Early doors. What's your prediction for your game, mate? West Ham, Bristol.
Well, we're hoping to see if Paqueta or possibly Zuma will come back from injury. I don't think we're going to have Antonio because he's still out with a knee injury, and obviously no Agurd and no Kudos. But I think we could. I'm going to go with 3-0 West Ham.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going there, mate. I'm going there.
Yeah, I'd say about the same, to be honest.
I'm going on that one. Uncle Rod, no, I'll come to you in a minute. Yeti, your game. Revenge, Notts Forest, Blackpool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, like I say, 3-1. I think other players will get a chance, because I think we've got 6 out with the AFCON. We've lost 6 players, so obviously there's going to be other players getting on the pitch. So he's going to get a chance to see, other players. So that's what he'll use it for me. Not actually disrespecting the tournament, but actually getting a chance to see other players that he's on about, sort of moving on, just to see how they get on and things like that. I'm looking at 3-1, to be honest. Maybe even 3-2. I think it'd be a good game.
Yeah, I'm personally, I think you're going to win it. I'm going 2-0 personally. But there you go. Steve, good comment, mate. Hi, all. Does anyone remember Arsenal Liverpool in the FA Cup early 80s? Yeah, I mentioned that. It was actually 4 replays. We had before we eventually beat them 1-0 when the cup was a big trophy. I still love the FA Cup. Yeah, absolutely, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The only problem is, mate, we went on. I'm not going to mention it again because bloody West Ham fan here, so he would just lap it up, wouldn't
I don't know who you're on about, Jez. I don't know who you're on about.
Yeah. So, okay, Uncle Rodz, Arsenal, Liverpool. I'm going to be. This is my prediction. I mean, I've got some other things to talk about for the final 10, 15 minutes. Arsenal, West Ham. It's the FA Cup. Arsenal have an affinity with the FA Cup. They do. Not so much with Mikel Arteta. Back in the day, we did. But I think it's time for the boys to step up and show some bollocks at the end of the day, because we've been crap late recently. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal. What's your prediction, mate?
Yes, as I said, you're usually good at the Emirates, but however, this is a different kind of circumstances. You know what I mean? I think we're gonna go out and give it a good go. So I would say I'm going for Desmond. I'm going for Desmond, mate. Going for Desmond. They've still got replays, yeah? They've still got replays, haven't they? Yeah. So I'm going for Desmond. Back to Anfield, and I think we win Anfield 2-0 at Anfield. Do you know what I mean? But Sunday, Desmond 2-2. Go for Desmond.
Yeah, that's
Can't be done in it up at early doors, isn't it? Can't be done in it. Got to get Desmond in there, mate. What's right with you?
Of course you have, mate.
a danger one for Arsenal. Arsenal, I'll tell you what, if we get a Desmond, right, and we've got to go up to Anfield, then forget it. To be honest, forget it. I'll give you a fact. The last time we beat Liverpool in a cup final game at Anfield was 2007.
Yes.
3-1.
Yeah, I remember that.
Last time we won at Liverpool. But anyway, so that's our predictions there. Now,
I'm saying 3-1 to Liverpool, to be honest, on Sunday.
Yeah,
the one I'm really looking forward to is Newcastle.
You love Liverpool.
Well, no, that's definitely not the case. But I just think they'll beat you. I just got a funny feeling they'll beat you, and I don't think you're that strong at home this season, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, that's the worrying thing.
Look, give me a bit of credence. I've got to think positive somehow. You know
well, yeah. Well, look,
I
tell you what, Jez, if you want me to feed your delusions, then I'll, just send me a script.
Oh,
Nah, mate, I love what you say. You know that.
I mean, the thing is, if you actually look back on the game at Anfield where they got a draw, that should have been a penalty. Odegaard handballed that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, they said he went down to try and balance. He didn't go try and balance. He went like that. So that should have been a penalty. And I think Liverpool will beat you on Sunday. But like I say, the one I'm interested in is probably tomorrow, which I might do a watch along for, actually, if Mama Flossie wants to come on, or you do, or whatever. For
Newcastle.
Sunderland, Newcastle.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good one, isn't it?
That's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good one.
That's a great segue, mate. I was just going to come to that. Sunderland, Newcastle. Interesting that the local police have stopped the Newcastle fans travelling local transport to the Sunderland game.
Not surprised.
Now, well, yeah, but hang on a minute. Using local transport, right? The police have got more control than the fans going.
Oh, that's true.
Here, there, and bloody everywhere, right? Because we know the animosity between these two clubs, right? There's no love.
They're probably two teams that have the most proper derby that really means something.
Well, they hate each other. I mean, so the
don't forget Southampton and Portsmouth as well. Yeah, that's just as bad.
Oh, Christ! It's like. Yeah, absolutely. But the fact is that the police are saying, you've got to make your own way. So you can have all these Newcastle fans, some tasty bunches in there as well, making their own way through Sunderland to get to the ground. That is a recipe for bloody disaster.
Yeah, isn't it, basically.
Did you see the best thing, though, today?
Go on.
So the stadium and light bars in the actual stadium itself,
yes,
all kitted out in black and white.
Yes, I saw that.
and fly the black and white flag, and away the lads they've won there as well. Sunderland had to issue an apology straight away because the Sunderland fans kicked off big time.
Yeah, I see that.
How the hell could you make a mistake like that?
Well, this is the problem, early doors. This is what, when you get idiots involved in football nowadays, right, that are young people out of university, they're there as the PR executive, if that's the correct term. They don't have a sodding clue what they're talking about. Because at the end of the day, the person that did that probably went to a university, yeah, he's got his degree in PR and journalism and bullshit and all that. He's gone up there, got a job, yeah, and they're give us this. He's got an unlicensed, he does it, and that happens. Look at the idiot, right, that put up outside the Emirates Stadium, Liam Brady, England. An ex-prime minister got involved with that.
Yeah.
And then
what they need to do is they need to grab the lad that actually did that in the Sunderland thingy, pick him up, put him in a helicopter, drop him right in the middle of the Sunderland firm, and say, right, see how well you do with this.
Yeah, exactly.
The Black Cats. The Black Cats. Whoever did it, obviously, didn't realise, didn't do their history, their homework.
Yeah,
that's exactly the point I was coming to. That is exactly the point I was coming to. Because they're called the Black Cats, nickname. That's probably why some absolute arsewipe in that PR publicity department thought, oh, let's put this up then. Did you not realise that black and white is actually the colour of Newcastle United?
Yeah, your main rival.
But how can you not know?
Well, he put away the lads.
Yeah, he did as well. Yeah.
How can you not know? Because what people understand, Sunderland's quite close to, it's very close to Newcastle. There's a part of Newcastle called Heaven, which is literally on the border of Newcastle and Sunderland. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so close. So how could you not know? The only reason you could not know is if you went to university and got a degree in being a numbskull. That's the only reason you can't know.
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean? It just makes no sense.
He's probably done it for a selfie or a TikTok video or something like that, because they do stupid stuff like that, don't they? But if the Sunderland fans find him, he'll soon regret it.
Oh yeah.
Oh mate, tell you what, he'd be out in the North Sea on a trawler.
100%.
Definitely. Another game I want to quickly talk about is tonight, Spurs Burnley. You know, I wouldn't be at all surprised, and I'll come to you early doors in this one, mate. I wouldn't be surprised there's a bit of an upset there with Burnley.
Possibly they're due one, aren't they? Really, they are due something. And as you know, cup games bring out the best in teams. Is Ange going to concentrate on the league? Because obviously, that little dip he's had, he wants to get back to keep a win. I think, what's it now? They've played. I think they've had 5 wins in 6 games. So he probably wants to keep that momentum going.
I think they'll disrespect it.
Yeah, I think they will do. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know. You never know. Ange might surprise a lot of us and put out a full strength side, but it'd be good to see Burnley actually get something, because they are definitely due, a bit of a turnaround. You got to feel. I do in certain ways feel sorry a little bit for company. When you think all the hype he had, did well in the Championship, come into the Premier League, and he just can't buy a win for love nor money.
No. Yeah, I'm going to be watching it. I think it might be a bit of a cup shot there, which we all like. Uncle Rodz, what do you think, mate? Spurs against the Burnley.
He's going full strength, though, Jazz.
Sorry?
He's going full strength.
Who?
Yeah, but you know what it is about?
Tottenham.
You know what it's about? Sort of like Spurs, they hold this high line. Now, if Burnley can get behind them, You know what I mean? If you can do that, anything's possible. Anything is possible. You know what I mean? Like Spurs, and they always try and bring these Spurs fans down to earth. You know what I mean? You know, it's like, you know, what you got to realize that Big Andrew's come in, and it's a first season syndrome, as it were, with a new manager. Do you know what I mean? All the players and they come out and they want to play for the manager because they want to have their place. You know what I mean? Or he may sort of like employ some different tactics that they like. You know what I mean? But to be honest, Spurs can be got at. It can be got at.
Oh yeah,
especially by someone like Burnley in the FA Cup. And this is why, at the end of the day, why I love the FA Cup, because someone like Burnley and they could win against Spurs. And then what happens? And they go further. Do you know what I mean? And if they beat the next team and the next team, all of a sudden they're in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, you know, this is why I love the FA Cup so much. So I think that Burnley when are they playing? Tomorrow or Sunday? Tomorrow or Sunday they're playing.
Tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
So they can get something out of it, mate. They can get something out of that tonight. In fact, I might have watching that tonight, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch
Not mates. Get the hits out, innit?
I'm going to watch that. I honestly think, you know, it's one of these things, isn't it, where you get that sort of buzz from the FA Cup.
Yeah,
you know, and I've got a feeling. Yeah, I think Burnley could get a touch here. Really do.
Why not?
You know, so another game, interesting one. Old school team, very big team back in the early days of football. Chelsea, Preston North End. I can't see Preston North End getting a result at all, but early doors, what do you think, mate? I
think Chelsea are just, you know, he'll put a full strength side at it. You know, I don't think he's going to muck around. He's got no choice in the matter really with way their fortunes are at the moment. So I think he'll go with a full strength side, and I think they'll nick that 2-0 against Preston. That's my prediction anyway.
I personally, I'm going to go 4-0. Yeti, what do you think, mate? Chelsea, Preston North End. I mean, iconic football club. Bit of history, people. First football team in league history to go unbeaten for a whole season. There you go.
I'm going.
Mate. You learn lots on here.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to go against the grain. I think this might be first upset, and Preston North End to win 2-1.
Interesting. Okay. Uncle Rodz, what do you think, mate? Chelsea, Preston North End?
Yeah, another iconic club. I mean, Bill Shankly used to manage Preston North End before he came to Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? And he actually had a victory over Liverpool back in them days there. Yeah, it's a very iconic club, but I'm not that optimistic as obviously Yeti. Do you know what I mean? I just think at the day sort of like Chelsea would have too much for him. The only way that sort of like Preston North End can probably win is if Chelsea don't take it seriously. Do you know what I mean? And start putting out a second string team. You know what I mean? But I just think that sort of like Chelsea on their day will have too much for Preston North End. So I'll be kind to Preston North End. 2-0 Chelsea.
Fair play. Respect for that one.
Yeah.
Ian says, Jez, do you remember going to Hartlepool in the FA Cup back in the day? Yes, it was. What a dump, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
It was a shithole up there.
Oh, man, that's squalor. That is squalor. Seriously.
Squalor, you know. That's a squalor, you know. You won't be going there again, would you, pal?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's probably the worst place ever you'll ever go in your life for a cup of tea.
You mean to tell me you went that far for a cup of tea? I could have made one. You stop off of mine.
Yeah, well, they probably made about 4 for 1. You know what I mean? with a tea bag. You know what I'm saying?
That's dire straits, mate. You know what they call them Hartlepool people? You know what they call Hartlepool people? They call them monkey hangers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they call them monkey hangers.
It is
like on the war, innit? We're on the war.
I
thought it's monkey and they thought it's a soldier. Some shit like that.
That is worse than Hull. Hull's a dump, but that place, man, honestly. Anyway, people, we're going to wrap it up. Great debate, people. Thanks for coming on. Early doors. Thank you, mate, as always. Really enjoyed our debate last night. Totally different subject. Brilliant. Please, mate, shout yourself out.
It's Early Doors Football TV, and follow me on people like these guys you can see in the panel. And obviously, I'm on Insta and on Facebook. And I'm trying to do a bit more content and getting these illustrious people on with me as we do this journey for 2024. It's going to be a good year for all of us.
Spot on.
Thank you, mate. Thank you for coming on, as always. Always welcome here, you know that. Yeti, thank you, mate, as always. I've really enjoyed a couple of the watch-longs. I don't do watch-longs, but I've enjoyed
you took to them quite a bit, haven't you?
It's been fun, actually. And, you know, I won't do if it's Arsenal because I get just too engrossed in the game.
Yeah.
It's pointless. I tried that.
I might do a Spurs Burnley one tonight if you want to jump on.
Yeah, I might. If I get a chance, mate, I might.
Any of you for that matter.
Yeah, no worries.
Sounds good, mate. Sounds good.
Mate, Yeti, please shout yourself out, my friend.
Right, so it's long-haired Yeti's Cave. As you know, Forest fan, play games and things like that. Got a lot of things coming in this year. 2024 is going to be huge. Also, this community is absolutely fantastic. Thank you, Jez, for having me on again. It's always a pleasure, you know that. And also Early Doors and Rodz, you know, it's great to be on stream with you, man. All real ones, you know, we don't talk shit. Well, we do talk shit, but we talk factual shit. But, you know, and also just want to say, Jez, enjoy your only game in the FA Cup on Sunday.
You'll fucking rub it in, didn't he? He's going to rub it in, didn't he?
I didn't expect anything less. Uncle Rodz, thank you, mate, for coming on.
Listen, mate.
And thank you, mate. Please shout your show out, mate.
Listen, mate, you don't have to thank me.
And all that, please.
Yeah, man. You don't have to thank me. It's a pleasure coming on your show, man. We always have interesting conversations, and you know, I just feel good when I come on your show, man. It's just like, you know, it's always a pleasure. You know what I mean? So like, listen, anytime you want me on your channel, you just shout me, and I'm there, brother. Do you know what I mean?
Always, mate. Always.
Big up to Early Doors as well. He came on my channel yesterday.
Thank you, mate.
Yesterday, and it was really, really good. I watched back bits of it, sort of like today, and I thought, damn, this is good, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
It was good.
Yeah,
good.
Big up to you, my friend. Big up to you. Good. Big up to Yeti. I'd like to get you on my channel, but it will happen very soon. It will definitely happen.
Uncle Rodz, don't do it,
you, mate. Yeah,
but big up to you, my friend. But listen, you guys can find me on each and every one of these guys' channels. You know what I mean? Also, I'm on Anfield Uncle Rodz, pushing that to get to the 3K.
Appreciate that.
3K and that. So like, wicked, nice one, Ross. Pushing to get to that 3K, and listen, just love this community. And I've got a motto: is when I rise, everybody has to rise with me. Do you know what I mean? Everybody has to rise with me. It's 100%. A journey that we need to take together, not separately, but together. So like, anything I can do at the day to help out, you guys, and anything. I mean, to be honest, listen, I'm not an expert YouTuber like Don Robbie or something like that, but listen, at the end of the day,
well, he ain't either.
Yeah,
but like, you know, if I can help anybody, if I could be of help to anybody, you know what I mean, I'm your man. Just message me and stuff. But you can find me on Anfield Uncle Rodz on YouTube, Anfield Uncle Rodz on Instagram, also on Twitter as well. That's where I'm at. So holler at me. Respect.
Cheers, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah, cheers.
I'm going to do, if anybody else, unless anybody's got anything to say, before we wrap it up, do the outro. We're out of here.
Just one more thing, mate.
Yeah, as always.
No, it's all right. I don't have anything. Just bye.
Oh no, I've got one more thing. Hold on, where is it? I've got it on. Oh no, sorry, mate. It's the wrong one, wrong show.
He's mugging you off, Jez. I'm mugging you off, mate.
Yeah, always, mate.
I don't know who had a bet.
Don't worry about that.
I'm looking at. I'm just looking at the photo album from 1980. Oh yeah, that's.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. You know,
Mate.
I was watching a series yesterday, and I can't watch. And I'm watching films and stuff like that. And every time someone says one more thing, I'm thinking, you're stealing my catchphrase.
It happens because when I did about the one about 3 years ago, Arteta guiding planes into Gatwick. Yeah, everybody says that now. Everybody says, but I don't care. It's what it is. It's what it is.
Just go back to Hendon Gooner's one, if you don't mind, that comment, because I don't know if you know about this. It's about the post office, Mr. Bates versus the post office.
Yeah.
This is about the Horizon software that the post sub.
Oh yes. That's on TV at the moment, isn't it? Some of these guys lost their houses and put away for prison. They committed suicide as well, didn't they?
Oh my.
Yeah. And the post office would never admit that it was wrong. And it only was it a couple of years back that they actually denied that they actually come true and said there was a problem with the Horizon system.
Yeah.
That woman got a CBE, and people, the head of the Post Office Counters Limited, the Pockle Group, she got a CBE, and people asking for her to give it back.
Yeah, it should do.
Yeah, it should do.
Yeah.
People have died. People have committed suicide.
Absolutely.
People have lost everything in their lives. They should be binned, man. Seriously, it's so wrong.
Shocking, that is.
So bloody wrong. But we're out of it, people. Good luck to West Ham.
Thank you,
at the weekend, mate. Good luck to the Forest at the weekend.
Cheers, mate.
Sorry, mate. I'm sorry, Uncle Rodz. I can't say good luck.
I know, mate. You're all right. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good.
Good luck, Liverpool, for the weekend.
Yeah, you would say that, wouldn't you? I think I must be the most hated guy here. But
We can never hate you, Jez, man. We can never hate you.
Oh man, take care. I'm going to do the outro. Let's get out of here, people.
Arsenal are out.
Goodbye. Peace.
Later, everyone.
I will say one thing. Arteta, get out. Take care, people. Have a great weekend.
Take care, mate.
Hope they do well.
Care.